This story takes place 27 years after the First Corporate War. The Nest by Sean Carrière. Chapter 40. The thick steel door shut with a satisfying. Inside the vault, Danny Blue kept holding onto the big metal steering wheel attached to the door. Not so much to lock it, as the door did that automatically. Instead, the terrorist leader was trying to maintain his balance. He was still feeling the effects of the beating he took hours earlier, not to mention the sedative he'd been injected with. Just standing up straight was a challenge at the moment. Behind the cracked visor of his suit's helmet, the young terrorist wore a Cheshire grin. He was proud of himself for beating the odds. He'd outsmarted the bounty hunters. He was a survivor. If it wasn't for his compromised balance, he would have patted himself on the back. Danny Blue figured he just had to wait until morning for rescue. By the time his gang would finally get him out of the C-zone, the bounty hunters sent to recapture him would be rat shit. The terrorist leader imagined his captors getting overrun and devoured by the beasts.
Fuck him,
Danny said to himself with a smile. The small metal room had no source of light. The terrorist was in total darkness, yet he wasn't afraid. That would soon change. Suddenly, Danny Blue sensed movement near him. Then, he felt something brush up against the back of his right leg. At first, the young terrorist wasn't sure anything was really there, or if he just imagined it. He received confirmation it was all for real when he felt sharp teeth tear through his suit's thick material and sink into his right calf muscle. The pain was searing, and caused Danny to kick his leg out behind him like a mule. A second later, he heard the of something heavy, like a sandbag, smacking into the back wall of the vault. This was accompanied by a high-pitched growl and a gravelly hiss. The terrorist held onto the big metal steering wheel as he struggled to keep his balance. Danny's right calf muscle was missing a chunk the size of a small fist, leaving his left leg to support all of his weight. That's when he heard a rat squeaking. As he listened, Danny Blue felt more jagged teeth biting into his open wound. He kicked his leg out again, launching this other rat across the tiny metal room. Before Danny could bring his leg back down, he felt another rat quickly climb up the back of his suit and bite into him midway between his left shoulder and his neck.
Ow! Ow!
The teeth felt like hot spikes, and he screamed in agony. The terrorist reached his right hand behind him, grabbed at the mutated rodent and pulled it off of him. Like the first rat, it took a good chunk of flesh with it before getting thrown across the vault. His two open wounds felt like they were on fire. But Danny didn't have time to analyze the pain as two rats jumped onto him at the same time, one attacking his wounded calf muscle and the other clinging to the back of his right arm before biting into his triceps. Each rat tore away fist-sized chunks of muscle tissue. Danny Blue tried to swipe away the rat on his arm, but this just caused him to lose his balance and fall flat onto his back. He hit the metal floor hard, but at least this got the rats off of him. Yet more of his flesh was now missing. The terrorist could feel the inside of his radiation suit becoming wet with his blood. He rolled himself over to a face-down position before attempting to get up onto his hands and knees. Danny struggled through the worst agony he'd ever experienced just to get his limbs to move. It took him several seconds, but he finally forced himself up onto his hands and his left knee. Before he could do anything else, Danny Blue felt more teeth digging into his left calf muscle. The sharp pain caused the terrorist to collapse flat onto his face. He was still conscious, but he wished he wasn't. A second later, another rat found the open wound near his neck and bit into it, ripping out even more flesh. He shrieked as he felt his body being slowly torn apart. Danny Blue was in hell. He was immobilized and helpless. The once feared terrorist leader was being dismantled, and he was too weak to defend himself. As he lay there, Danny wondered how many rats were inside the vault with him, and just how long before they'd finally kill him. That's when the rat chewing away at his wounded shoulder bit clean through his collarbone. The terrorist was too exhausted to scream, but he still felt every bit of pain. In the end, only 2 rats had managed to slip into the vault without Danny Blue noticing. This would only prolong the terrorist's suffering, as these rodents, big as they were, could only eat so much of him at a time. These 2 mutated beasts would take their sweet time, slowly savoring their living prey little by little over the next few hours.